Do sugary snacks cause a student to have a higher activity level? By Shelby Schultz, Mackenzie Mertens, and Cassie Jones. Dr. Madison and Dr. Johnson both conducted experiments to determine whether the hypothesis that sugary snacks affect the activity level of students in the classroom is true. More advantages than disadvantages were shown in Dr. Johnson's experiment, leading to our hypothesis not being supported.
Dr. Johnson's experiment had many advantages, two of these being cause and effect and being able to compare treatment effects. An example of cause and effect in this experiment is that all variables in the experiment are the same except that one group is getting a sugared snack and the other group is not. Therefore, one can conclude that if there was higher activity in one group than the other, it is caused by the sugary snack. Being able to easily compare the treatment effects allows there to be less error in the collection of data.
Another advantage of Dr. Johnson's experiment was that it took place in a laboratory, preventing a third variable from affecting the experiment. However, this can also be viewed as a disadvantage because the experiment isn't in the natural setting, causing it to limit applicability to real life.
Dr. Madison's experiment shows a correlation between sugary snacks and the activity level of students. The correlation, which is a relationship between the two, show that there is an association between the two variables, but not a direct link. This experiment also presents many disadvantages.
One disadvantage that Dr. Madison's experiment has is that it allows there to be a third variable that could affect the results. Because of the possibility of there being outside variables, you can't determine the cause. Since this experiment lasted over a week and food intake was the only variable which was tracked, other variables such as hours of sleep, amount of exercise, genetics, or cultural factors could have impacted how active each child was.
The most important advantage of Dr. Madison's experiment is that it takes place in the student's natural setting, their classroom. This allows the children to be comfortable and for there to be no other factors that affect them.
Even though Dr. Madison's experiment showed a correlation, there was too many other variables that could have affected the results of the experiment. Dr. Johnson's experiment had greater advantages and showed no correlation between sugar intake and increased activity. Therefore, the hypothesis was not supported.